So over the course of last season, Anthony Edwards has really put his name into the next face of the NBA conversation, with his play over the regular season leading the Minnesota Timberwolves to being a top 3 seed in the Western Conference and getting the Minnesota Timberwolves all the way to the Western Conference Finals, and the way he was playing, the character that he was being over the span of the regular season and the playoffs, I could definitely understand why you would see him in a face of the NBA conversation. With him being only 22 years old and putting up the numbers as he did last season, exactly giving you 26 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, I can't argue much why he should not be the face of the league going forward after LeBron James. But what if I told you that Anthony Edwards is a completely different player this season than he was last year? So when I say he's a completely different player than what he was last season, I just think the volume of shots that we're getting from Anthony Edwards, the way he's creating for his offense, the way he's creating for himself is completely different, and I have the stats to show for it. Last year, Anthony Edwards was giving you 26 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists on 35% from 3 on 6 attempts. This season, however, Anthony Edwards is giving you 27 points per game, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 45% from 3 on 11 three-pointers a game on 61% true shooting, which is a career high. This season, Anthony Edwards is an 87th percentile pick and roll creator, a 92nd percentile spot-up player. He's shooting 56% of his shots from the three-point line. He's shooting 12% of his shots from the restricted area, and he's shooting 15% of his shots from the paint non-restricted area. This guy is not getting downhill at all. And something that I've seen from Anthony Edwards is something that I would like to see him really get better in when we progress through the NBA season and get to the postseason is he's kind of letting teams off the hook by not going to the rim. He's not going to the rim as much. When he's getting downhill, he's stopping on a mid-range pull-up. He's not kicking it out to his guys when he does go all the way to the restricted area. He's settling for pick and roll, three-pointers off the dribble, which as of right now are going in. I mean, he's shooting 5 for 11, which is a lose to 45% from the three. But when I watch Anthony Edwards and I see guys like Naz Reid and Donte DiVincenzo just waiting for the ball, especially when the defense collapses on Anthony Edwards as much as it does, I would like to see him kick the ball out just a little bit more. And after trading Karl-Anthony Towns, you brought in guys like Julius Randle and Donte DiVincenzo. And I'm one who's on record saying this. I believe the offense will be as best as it possibly can around Anthony Edwards when Naz Reid and Donte DiVincenzo are on the floor together. Now, don't get me wrong. Julius Randle has been playing pretty solid this season with the way he's been able to play make, attack the rim, and to shoot more threes instead of just playing ISO ball at the elbow. I really do appreciate that. But I believe the offense is the best it can be is when Donte DiVincenzo and Naz Reid are on the floor. Whether it's Naz Reid and Rudy Gobert as your front court, whether it's Naz Reid and Julius Randle as your front court, Naz Reid has to be on the floor. And the only way I believe that this lineup will get truly maximized is if Anthony Edwards makes better decisions as a playmaker. All right, if we take a quick look at the stats right here, I think this is the lineup right here. Rudy Gobert, Donte DiVincenzo, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Naz Reid, and Anthony Edwards has an offensive rating of 116.9, a defensive rating of 70.2, a net rating of 46.8, and a true shooting percentage of, what does that say, 80. Oh, no, I'm tripping. True shooting percentage of 75.3 and an effective field goal percentage of 73.2. Small sample size, as it's been only 6 games and 24 minutes played. But if we just take a look at the film, I think they get a lot more spacing with Naz Reid and Donte DiVincenzo. I also think Anthony Edwards has more opportunities to make plays for them, but I do think Anthony Edwards needs to slow the game down just a little bit, realize where he is on the floor, and make the proper play instead of taking the tough contested layup over 3 or 4 defenders, which I'm about to show you guys now. Once again, this is the play right here that I wanted to show you guys. What was I about to say? I don't want it to seem like I'm nitpicking Anthony Edwards because he is a phenomenal player. But as a guy who's going to be a superstar and is going to be looked at to be a number 1 on a championship team, this is something you're going to have to adjust your game on, especially with the amount of volume shots you take. You're going to have to find a way to be able to pass out of double teams, pass out of the pick and roll, pass when you're getting downhill, because right now they're in a 2-3. They're in a 2-3. Naz Reid is in the dunker spot right here. Julius Randle's on the right. The right wing right here, and then we got Nickeil Alexander-Walker in the corner. I don't really know who's in the other corner. We're just gonna have to see. Anthony Edwards is gonna get the ball. He's gonna drive past his man. Look at how many players are collapsed on him. I see 1, 2, 3. Even if you don't trust Julius Randle with the 3, you should still swing this ball, because now you get the ball blocked. You know what I'm saying? If we just go back real quick, he had, I think, 2 good options to really pass to. He had Julius Randle and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Even if he doesn't get the wide open 3 as soon as he gets the ball, they can still play the rotation game. Once Julius Randle gets in the corner, now somebody's sprinting to him. Then he swings it across. And then either Dante DiVincenzo or Naz Reid gets an open 3. It doesn't matter about you getting the assist, but what does matter is you getting points on the board. So I feel like that's something that isn't really talked about as much. That's something I would love to see in Anthony Edwards' game just a little bit more, so we can see him really become that number 1 guy, and this Minnesota Timberwolves team can go win a championship. Here's another clip. We're not actually showing any bad passes, but for somebody to be this good getting downhill, somebody who's this quick, this strong, has a crafty handle and is creative getting downhill, it would be crazy. It's hard to believe a guy like this. It's really hard to believe a guy like this only shoots 12% of his shots like that. 12% of his shots is this right here. That's why it's like we're seeing a different Anthony Edwards, but are we really? Are we really? It's really difficult to. Here's another one, ladies and gentlemen, and we're gonna watch this one together, and we're actually gonna watch it in full screen because I'm sure I've already given up my plug for the film, but it's okay, because I was like one of the last people on this on this website anyway. But I want to watch this clip, and I want you guys to just imagine what Jalen Brunson, what SGA, what James Harden, what Luka Doncic would do. I want you guys to imagine, okay? Just imagine. All right, so we're watching. Anthony Edwards gets Anthony Davis up in the air, okay? He gets the lane. So what does he do? He sees that Anthony Davis is on his hip. You see that. We see that together right here. Tell me right now, Luka Doncic does not have AD in jail. You put your hip on his, and now you have control of everything he's doing. Now you have control of everything he's doing. If I'm going to jump, or if he's going to be on my hip, I'm going to pump fake. He's going to jump. Now we're at the free throw line. We're down 15. Beginning of the third quarter. You guys can't even see this right now, but we're down 15 early in the third quarter. I have a chance to get AD a foul coming into the second half. I have a chance to knock down 2 free throws, and I have a chance to get my offense in rhythm. This is something that Jaylen Brown would do. This is something SGA would do. This is something that Jalen Brunson would do. James Harden. This is something that you have to learn. Instead, he pulls it back out, and he tries to one-on-one against one of the best defenders in the league, if not the best, loses his dribble, and turns the ball over. That's something you really have to work on if I'm just watching film. You know what I'm saying? Once again, Ant is a phenomenal player, but it's plays like these where it's like these are almost the easiest buckets you're going to get. Once he's on your hip, and it's not like they got the best backline help right here. It's Austin Reeves. And if they bite too hard, you got Gobert, who's 7 foot. You have Anthony Davis exactly where you want him to be, outside of the paint. You have him exactly where you want to be. So attack. This isn't hard. I didn't play in the NBA, but I sure as hell watch it a lot. And you could have definitely went to the free throw line and got Anthony Davis in possibly foul trouble. Who knows? He may have had 3 fouls right here. So I don't necessarily know, but we're going to move on to the next clip. Basically, to sum it up, I think Anthony Edwards right now, do I think he's going to be taking 11 3-pointers a game and shooting 45% for the rest of the season? No. Do I think he can shoot around 40% on 6-7 attempts? Yes. I don't know. Maybe he continues this throughout his entire season this year, but I just don't think it will happen. But I definitely want to see the playmaking side of Anthony Edwards just get a little bit better before I really give this before I really say like, yeah, he's going to lead this Timberwolves team to a championship. And this is really something that I have a critique before I put him in my top 10. I think I got a lot of hate on my TikTok for not having him top 10. And me and Mars got a lot of hate for having him top 3 and not the best shooting guard in the league. I'm not ready to give him that just yet because there are definitely some areas where I think he can improve. And there's definitely a world where by the end of the season, he could be the best shooting guard in the league. So I'm not going to sit here and just say that it's out of the realms of possibility, but those are the concerns I have with Anthony Edwards. These are some of the praises I have with Anthony Edwards. And if you guys agree, let me know in the comment section. If you guys disagree, let me know in the comment section. I'm out.